Alrighty, folks, we'll be getting started in just a second here. Just bear with me, I'm not quite sure what happened with the camera. I think, there we go. We should be good to go now. Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Again, we're live for our Futures Now session. Disclaimer is running at the top of the screen there for you. Just want to make sure everything's looking good here. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Everything should be okay. I see the YouTube, Vimeo, and the Facebook streams are going pretty good. Alright, if there are any issues, you guys will let me know. I got the 3 chats open here on the side. So we'll be going, we'll be getting started fairly quickly here. As you may or may not be aware, I was in the process of moving these past couple of weeks, but it feels like a couple of months. So now we're able to kind of get back into it, right back into it as where we left off. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you haven't already, please follow this link here, tradewithufos.com/Bojan. You'll be able to get access to our free membership so you can get the newsletter. And then on top of that, stay in touch with us and, see what's going on with the TRADDICTIV and Trade with UFOs channels. So you can be up to speed. Again, my name is Bojan Petreski. My email is right here, bojan@tradictive.com. And today is June 15th, 2021. Let's go ahead and get to the next slide so we can go to through the agenda. The fact that we are simulcasting, right? So we got public streams on Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo going on for a limited amount of time. Once we kind of find, a trade or two in the beginnings, depending on how quick it happens, we're going to switch to the live stream. That's the private stream that's on our website without a time restriction. If I'm taking some time to answer a question or a comment or anything in the chat, that's mainly because there's a bit of a delay. That's just nothing we can do for right now. Mainly because that's just communication delay between the YouTube servers, wherever you're watching it, and the ones we're streaming to. Maybe our good friend Elon Musk will solve that with Starlink, but we're still, I would say we're still at least a decade away from that. So let's get started. If you haven't already, definitely check out the newsletter that we do, the 3D overview that we do in the morning. So you can understand the market environment we're trading in right now. As you may or may not be aware, we're just, everything was looking pretty green, going up for the day. We're going to see what happens now that the market is opened. We're going to take a look here at some trades that we had from before. Now the last day that when we were trading, we did have a couple of, pretty good trades. We had the GC, we had a setup. And we did end up canceling it, right? It did not meet the criteria for entry. And then we did have RTY set up that actually did get filled at the end of the session, and that one did get exited after it popped T1. We had to move our, so what happened there was, I'm just gonna zoom this in a little bit, right? So we did get our T1 right there. But then price moved at least one increment without making a new UFO, and therefore we had to move our stop. And then once we moved our stop, it actually ended up being an in-profit stop. So this was an overall winner. All right, and that was that for that day. Now this was close to a month ago, believe it or not. We're going to look at some new trades now. We're going to see what we can identify for this session, and we'll go from there. If there are any questions or any comments or anything, please feel free to type them here in the chat box at the outlet that you're seeing this stream from. If there aren't any, I'm just going to give you guys a few more minutes until I set up something here. We'll be good to go. Alrighty, and if not, just feel free to say, hey, it's going good, everything's great. That's fine too. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Let's gonna open up the short-term time frame climate window on TradeStation, and we're gonna see how it's going. Wow, things did take a bit of a turn, didn't they, since we saw it this morning? Well, except for crude oil, right? Crude oil is just churning on up. Looks like everything turned red for the day. EC is kind of sitting there, kind of in between. I mean, so are really the majors here. You know, about 0.5% on the Dow, 0.75% on the Russell. Gold is just kind of dilly-dallying there, but you know, we do have a couple of setups here. So for gold and the euro, so let's go ahead and get those opened up right away. Gold and euro. So euro 15, gold 15. Let's open those up. All right. So gold, what do we have for gold here? We're gonna start with gold first. Confirmed down climate, fourth candle out of typically 7. So we're looking good on that aspect. Moving average is at 1963.4, which is within this UFO, at the start of this UFO, right there. And 64.3 is the top of it, so there we go. We do have a setup. Now the question is, do we go in at 2.9, or do we take the little bit more conservative approach and go in at 3.1? I'm gonna go in at 3.1. All right, and I'm gonna explain the setup as soon as I frame this trade out. So the top is 4.3, so our stop will be 1, 2, 3 ticks above at 4.4, 3 ticks below at 6.18. And then the final target, we're gonna open this up to here, and we're gonna see where is our final target. It's at 53.9. All right, it's at 53.9. So let's go ahead and drag that down, all the way down to here. And I didn't drag it down. That's great. All right, let's enable chart trading to get that done quicker. So we said this final target is going to be at 1853.9. All right. Yes. There we go. Put that there. All right. So what do we do next? We're going to take a quick screenshot of this. Save that information so we know. So today is 2021 06/15 GC 50-minute setup. All right, that's our 50-minute setup right there. Now what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and explain this setup before we move forward. Sorry, I didn't mean to switch on that. I'm like, what the heck happened? So the trade that we have in front of us here on gold is a short, right? We're going in at 1863.1. Now, why exactly are we going in at this location? So we're looking at this UFO as our, as our primary force that is basically telling us, hey, there are some unfilled orders left here for a potential short. So this would be a good location to get in at, because number one, the climate is down. We're looking at a down climate. It's a confirmed down climate, the fourth 15-minute increment out of typically 7. So we're not at the end of it. We're kind of in the middle of this climate, so it's a good potential area to get into. Now on top of that, we're looking at 1863.4 as this exponential, the 9 exponential moving average at 1863.4. So what we want is this, common time frame moving average exponential to be enveloped, right? To be enveloped, so this 1863.4. So this one, we want it to be enveloped in one of these UFOs. And as we see, it's actually happening with both of these UFOs. Both of these meet the criteria for entry. That 1863.4 will be enveloped by them when price gets to it. So bottom line is, we're looking at this and you know, we're basically analyzing it, and we're looking for a potential entry on it based on that criteria. Okay, so we have the climate, which is a direct force, it's a direct driver. It's telling us, hey, you know, this is a good setup. Look for short opportunities, and because we're looking for these short opportunities, we're looking at them in the aspect of where, you know, we know the direction, which way we're going. Now we need to know, where do we enter and where do we exit? And that question we answer with the UFOs. So right now, as we see it, at 1863.1 is our entry, and our exit is at 1864.4, because that is one tick above the UFO that we're getting in on, or any other UFO on any one of these 3 time frames that we see here: the 2 minute, the 610, and the 377 tick bar. All right. Now, what's the risk on this trade? Well, that's for gold at least, it's a very simple calculation. 1864.4 minus 1863.1, right? That's a 1.3, which gold moves at $10 increments. Sorry, it's actually $100, so it'll be $130. That did not sound easy at all. So 1.3 times 100, it's $130 per contract, and we will usually go with 2, so that's a $260 risk trade. Now, that's a $260 risk trade. Obviously, at 1-to-1, we're going to make that 130, but down below, let's say our final target, right, 163.1 minus 1853.9, we're looking at 9.2, right? So that's $920 plus the 130 to make $1,050. Now, will that happen often, right? Are we going to get T2s often? Absolutely not, right? And anybody that tells you that they always hit their final targets, they just simply have their final target way too close to their entry price. What's most likely going to happen is the following. Let's say, we do get filled here, which would be nice if we can get a nice push up and then a little trap area and then push it on down. At least that would be, something that I would like to see here. Just to check here something, just want to make sure, because I did it by kind of eyeballing it, but 1861.8. It's 1.3. Okay, so we're good to go on that. Oh man, really? What did it go to? 2.4. Okay, so it wasn't that close, but it looked closer. So the high was 2.8. Okay, so it came 3 ticks within our entry. Let's hope it's not one of those sessions where we just get teased a lot and then nothing happens. But I think we're all set on this trade, right? If there's any questions, please feel free to type it in any one of the chats. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm not seeing any concerns, so I'm good to go. If you guys do have some, please feel free to type them. I'm gonna, keep scrolling through the chats here to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I know primarily the ones on YouTube are usually the ones that are pretty popular, and then the one on Vimeo that we're gonna switch to, which is our private channel, will be coming up shortly. But in the meantime, right, we have a trade setup, but not a trade trigger yet. So we're gonna let this ride and see what happens. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the euro. Okay, just gotta format it a little bit. Oh, that's what it is. All right, one easy way to take a look at. I already kind of know the answer to, but I'm just going through this procedure just because it's just easier for everybody to know. How do you know if you're on the right symbol? Simply go to barchart.com/futures/mostactive/currencies, and that'll give you the information you need. Right now, obviously, because these are a little written out a little differently, but if you just look for, it should be either 6E, I forget how these get, or actually, yeah, E6. So E6 is on the September contract. That means we gotta go to the U. So we're gonna go to @ECU21. And voila, it's gonna give us the information we're looking for. Okay, 21,437. Interestingly enough, this may be a UFO that we can get in on. There's only one UFO here, but one UFO is enough for our setup to work. This UFO starts at 21,435, which is good because price is pretty close to it. It looks like it did touch it just not even too long after we started the session. So that if you got that entry, that would have, and you got filled there, that would have been a 0 negative trade, 0 red trade. So as soon as you got in, you were just starting to make money. But this is still a valid trade because this UFO is here. So the entry, similarly to this one, right? We got 21,439. Now you're gonna say, hey, Bo, that's a little bit above. Right, but remember, price is up here at 470. So should price fall down, right? The moving average is gonna fall down with it, and it's gonna, and you know, I anticipate them to meet here in this area. So we're gonna go ahead and put our entry here as well at 21,435. Now, something that I wanna kind of preface to everybody, because this is something that I, from my own personal experience, learned the hard way. According to our more conservative methods, especially on instruments that are futures, there's a lot of times you might think, hey, they're not that correlated, gold and euro, but certain events influence futures sometimes almost the same. So it's very basically easy to kind of get caught up in a wave that happens to affect all futures across the board. So that way, that's why what we do here is we enter trades, but we don't enter a second trade until the first one is either risk off or closed, right? So we're gonna put both setups here, right? But we're gonna leave them here, right? We're gonna leave that right there. And this is a very, very kind of a small area type of a trade. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it up here, 410, so 405, and actually for currencies we do give it a 2-tick stop, so 21,400. So to 35 we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ticks. So we're gonna go 3 down here, and then the sell UFO is up above here at 21,705. All right. Let's move that up here to 21,705. And look at that, we just got a new UFO, 435, 442. So, man, that's a bit of a tough decision because this does actually meet entry criteria. But the issue I have with this is the stop will be within this UFO. So that would mean you would increase your risk. Now, if you wanted to be a little bit more, if you had a bit more of a risk appetite, you can certainly enter on this UFO here. It's just that your stop will have to be where mine is right here, 21,400. So just be on the lookout for that, right? All right, let's see how gold is doing. Wow, gold is coming close to entry, but just not giving us a fill. The high is 63, even a tick away. Gold, you better not tease us with a tick away, and you guys better not be front running me. But yeah, came a tick away. Jeez. Okay, I guess we're gonna just have to sit and wait. In the meantime, we did have an update to the climate, so we're gonna see what's going to happen right now, and we're just gonna wait patiently and see what happens. Hey guys, can you confirm that you can see me and hear me right now? I somehow ended up moving a wire and my microphone slash camera got disconnected. I was here, I could see, but nothing was happening. I don't think you could see nor hear me. So anyways, let me know if sound is good and you can see me. In the meantime, we might be getting a fill on this. Wow, look at that. Jeez. It just ripped on up. All right, so gold is still all good. Okay, great, wonderful. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Ferman. Awesome. All right, we might be getting a fill on this. I'm just gonna already get ready to kind of put that candle right there. That's gonna be the fill candle. Come on, gold, stop teasing us. Just give us this entry so we can analyze it and go from there. Just very small on the bottom right. Okay, it's a little bit bigger. Let me know if it works okay. Wow. Okay, again, a tick away. A tick away. This is exciting stuff, right? Well, listen, I foresaw that we're gonna get filled on this one. Let's see if my foresight was right. Oh my God! I hope we don't see a push down to T1. Oh dear. This is what I like to see when I get into this trade. Kind of this a little bit more aggressive push down. But guys, it is what it is. Sometimes we get these fills and it goes. Sometimes comes right back to smack us in the face. That's just trading. All right, so interestingly enough, gold is flashing still sensible short, which is what we're looking at already. YM is a sensible short, but nothing as of yet. And then it looks like actually the euro is on the 60-minute time frame, so I would like to take a look at it. Now crude oil is flashing sensible long. I mean, I'm gonna open it just because crude oil moves so much, but unfortunately it was like it was negative ATR, which means it's already gone through. And then we have, let's see here. Yeah, just like I thought, there's no UFOs, but crude oil moves so quick, so fast that I kind of want to be ready for it if a new UFO maybe forms like somewhere here, right? Because that means it would be kind of like how it's popping up right now. 7178, so the new UFO could be right here in this area. So you know, there it is. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger right there at 78. Boom, and we're gonna put our stop at 71. All right, and let's go ahead and get that matrix here at 78. And our stop is 7 ticks. So I'm gonna move this down here at 6, actually at 5, 7 ticks. And let's see what's gonna happen. Now, again, if we get filled on crude oil, which kind of sucks that it's already, look at that, it's already popping to T1. Come on, crude oil. Crude oil also kind of giving us the tease there. Look at that gold drop, right? It would have been nice. Like what I would like to see is anytime this happens like that, if that happens and if that touched that T1, I would actually go ahead and invalidate this trade because it came within a tick from my entry. But you know, it did not, so this trade is still valid. All right, let's see. Crude oil did touch the T1 right there, but crude oil moves fast enough that we could potentially see this, you know, give us an entry and a good setup. Gold is moving away. I'm just, the reason why I'm cycling through the two is because I want to make sure that I don't get into both trades at the same time. And the reason why this is a little bit exciting is because they're so close to entry. I mean, they're both less than, 10 ticks away from entry. And, we just want to make sure if we get in one, we cancel the other. Hopefully we'll be quick enough to do that. Sometimes we can't be. Sometimes things move so quick that, that's that. But I mean, look at this. This is just, one tick away at 30 even. That's okay though. That's all right. All right. So we're getting in at 78 on crude oil. If it gets to us, it's also a few ticks away. All right, once we get one of these trades filled, folks, just letting you know, kind of giving you a bit of a heads up ahead of time, we're going to go ahead and switch to our private stream. So just kind of be ready for that. Obviously, if you are on the private stream, please join us there. I see there's a few of you on the YouTube one. I know probably YouTube is a little more convenient because you probably have it set up with the bell icon and you've liked and subscribed our videos. That's why you're there. Okay, come on. Crude oil is takeaway. Okay, there we go. We're in the crude oil trade. All right, our stop is at 71 and our T1 is at 85. Okay, one thing I didn't realize is I didn't set a final target, but I do want to take a quick screenshot of this. So 2021 0615 CL 15-minute setup. All right, and our final target for crude oil. Oh wait, let's see here. Well, that's not fun. Let's see. Our final target for crude oil is going to be up at 71.86. Oh man, that's a tick above. All right, and it looks like this one did not separate the two for some reason, so I'm just gonna put it here and call it a day. Yeah. For some reason it did not get separated, but our T2 would essentially be that 86. And like I said, you usually see a fill like this, basically fill and then run. But unfortunately for us, well, we'll see what's going to happen, but we have a red UFO that formed right in front of us, so we have to get through that and then get this T1/T2. Okay. In the meantime, folks, let's take a look and see how is gold doing. Gold is moving away. Crude oil is we're still in it. Now let me just see here. Mark that out for that time stop. We just want to be ready for this one. And 1, and 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. This might be an easy 1, 2, depending on what happens. All right. So there's that. This purple rectangle, the way I do it, the reason why I do it is because, I'd like to present things very visually, very easy to understand. Because, again, I think it's just easier to learn that way. If within the time that passes within this rectangle, we don't get our T1, or in this case, T1 and T2, or stopped out, we're just going to go ahead and close the trade for whatever happens. Okay, there we go. We're getting a little bit of a push to the downside. When we initially set the trade up, that would have been the best time to get in on this. But again, this trade is according to our plan, and it is according to our strategy. So once we kind of finalize it, we're going to resume hunting for some more opportunities. In the meantime, folks, I'm going to go ahead and switch off from the YouTube channel, and I'm going to switch to the private stream. So if you're not there, I will see you there shortly.